Welcome to Quail Hollow Farms. This is Grace, a soon mother-to-be of some puppies in about 60 days. She just got bred. So anyway, we're coming today about an hour before sunset just to get caught up. I haven't had any long videos since before all the kids were born, so just going to take a walk about and check everybody and see what they're doing and kind of catch you up on what's been going on. See you in a minute. I put up a little bit of strange fence here. This is some poly rope I started out with before I started using mainly the Premier 1 fence, but I still use poly wire. This is some poly rope. Anyway, my cows were over there at the other gate over there pulling down my fence line, just trying to see with the other herds. So I put this up and that stopped that. Plus it's been a pretty good idea. If one breaks loose from either side, I can corral them in here and get them back over to their right side. So it's been working out pretty good for me. These are the meat birds. They're starting to cool off. It got pretty hot in here today. They'll be 3 weeks old, I think, next week. I put them out at 2 weeks and they're already monsters compared to what they were. But they're coming along, other than today was pretty warm for them. But I put some water over the tarp and kind of cooled it off a little bit. You can see a few of them panting, but at 102, not much you can do. And the big girls are starting to gather, starting to get ready to roost for the night. They're all grown so much. We're almost not laying pullet eggs anymore. They're all about medium size, and some really large ones. I had one not too long ago that was a big double yoker, and it was pretty good size for a pullet. Ouch. Yeah, we see you. It's not time for a bottle. No, don't jump up on me. She thinks it's bottle time. That's about an hour. That way I can come out and give her her last bottle for the night and then put the chickens up. I've been letting these guys roam a little bit during the day, opening up the other pastures. This pen, they're in the electric fence at night, but you can look at these little bucks. They are good looking little bucks, always into mischief, giving these girls a run for their money. We had 8 bucks this year in this particular kidding, and they all just really good bodies, really muscled up. Here's the rest of the girls grazing. These are 2 most recent ones. They're out of Lizzie, and they're looking 2 little bucklings, one little blue-eyed buck, one really pretty colored little buck. And then we have one over here, Lulu. She's expecting. It wasn't a planned pregnancy. There's Lizzie, and we just had a new one. I mean, just born just a little while ago. I saw her out here looking like she was having one. And this is Haley's. I believe that's what we called her. Oh, blue-eyed, little brown baby. We'll look and see I'll leave you alone. I don't think you're finished. Anyway, we kind of had a fiasco. I have 4 young doelings. I wasn't planning on breeding till next year. And Buddy got out. So now we have a Premier fence inside the fencing that's hot, and then we have another fence about 6 to 8 feet apart. I thought the fencing inside the pen would be enough, but when you got little does coming up right to the edge and can kind of touch noses, it's too much temptation. So far this has worked. You've got a pretty little baby. I'll leave you alone. We'll come see later. Like I said, I don't think you're finished. All right, let's go see some of the other does. Poor Abby, she's about ready to pop, so she should be any day now. Let's go see her. Here's one of our little doelings. Another little buckling. They're all finishing up pretty good. I'm going to be working them in the end of April. Have my son and my daughter come help me. I'll try and video because it's a little bit of a rodeo, and my daughter Amy is the fastest thing on 2 legs as far as catching these baby goats. So we'll see if we can get that on video. Let's go see Abby. It's okay, you don't have to get up. She is miserable. So even, I think yesterday, she didn't even go out with the herd. She just stayed here close. And I apologize to her every day for not keeping Buddy away from them. But we're just praying that they'll be able to deliver the fourth term. One of them already has. Looks like she's maybe finished. But we're just having to keep a double electric barrier around them. And these little bucks are giving these little does a hard time, but I don't think they're supposed to be virile until they're about 4 months. So we'll be separating them out pretty quick. I'm sorry, Abby. Hopefully soon. Her mother, she's actually one of my bottle babies from last year. Her mother had quads, and we had 3 left, and we had to bottle feed all 3 of them, and lost the mother. Her bag was not a good bag. She had a really long bag, and I think the ligaments had, because she had so much milk, had separated, and she had mastitis, and we lost her just a few days later. But we're hoping for better for Miss Abby. She's a good goat. She's a little headstrong sometimes. If she don't want to go, she doesn't really want to. You have to kind of force the issue. But say a prayer for Abby. Hopefully tomorrow, the next day, with Haley having hers. It looks like we're doing on time here, maybe even 3 or 4 days sooner than what I expected. Well, the cows must have known I was filming, because they all came up. They came up to drink. There's number 1, and that's her calf. This is one of the steers. Both of them are steers. This is one of the, I think this one belongs to Horns. It's one of her calves. Was separated part of the herd. And here's Miss Charlotte. We have to keep her separated from the bulls. Yes, we do. She likes to take treats, don't you? And there's her mama. They call her Bubbles, but it's actually Cuddles is what we've been calling her. This is one of Cuddles' calves, and this is that crazy cow that we had. But she's not as smooth a temperament as her mother or any of Cuddles' calves. Anyway, they came up to drink, so we got a picture of all of them. It's mainly cows and heifers and steers. And I think everybody's bred. The heifers are old enough to have been bred, so I think Torito got to all of them. So they came up and graced us with their pictures. Most of these girls have come in. They're fixing to go up here in just a few minutes. Everybody's pretty much the same on the eastern front. It's just been hot today, and everybody's trying to find a place to shade and do a dust bath. My guineas have kind of been missing in action. I saw 3 of them today, but I don't know. They've been awfully quiet today. I don't know where they're at. Maybe they'll be back here in a little bit. I'm not sure you can see them, but here's the 5 that I was missing. These are the 5 that I raised together. I was driving down my road the other day, and all 5 of them comes flying across the hood of my truck. I was reminded of the C-130s that come by. Look at K3. He's getting so big. He's growing up really big now. Just the last month or so, he's gotten longer, a little taller. He's still pretty laid back. He and Torito play and butt heads. It's never anything really serious. They get along pretty good, even eat out of each other's food bowls. I started a little experiment here. I sectioned off this part of this field, and I've got several hay bales, round bales set back there, and I'm sectioning them off and feeding them one at a time and leaving the extra that's left over on the ground to kind of give some ground cover. You can see here there's no ground cover and you go out into certain sections of pasture here, they're just dead. It's just dead. And I had a soil test done and way below on nitrogen, but every place I've kind of been doing bale grazing a little bit, not organized like this, but everywhere if I put down a bale of hay, the next time I'd put it in a different place. And you can go back out here and you can see where I've had round bales, just where they've been in the past. And so we're trying a little bit experiment. We'll section this off. Once all the bales are done, we'll section it off, and then I want to plant some sainfoin. It's a seed that they use a lot in England, and supposed to fix nitrogen in the soil and not have the problems with bloat that some of your other cover crops use. We'll let you know how it goes. Right now it's just an experiment. Doesn't cost anything to experiment. We're going to feed the hay anyway, and just ran a little bit of wire and a few posts, which I'd planned on doing to section these off for paddocks. I don't know if you can see them, but the rest of the cows are out this way, and Torito's up way up there by the road trying to check out the cows on the other side. But we've had quite a bit of rain this spring. We need some more. I think we're supposed to have some Tuesday. But you can kind of see I have a green swell through here. It's an area where the water runs down through this field and goes over into the other. But the rest of it looks like this. There's just no organic matter on top of the soil. And this year I'm declaring war on the mesquite and the cactus. I've got to get my stuff together and just start grubbing it out a little bit at a time. I'm going to start, I think, on this field first, because I want to section this off into 2 more paddocks and do the bale grazing on. I was looking at this today over here. It's not a lot of grass, it's mostly weeds, but the cows eat most of it. Not too much on the mesquite. The goats eat the mesquite and the cedar. They like it when they can get to it. But they eat pretty good, so it looks like I may need to take the tops of these weeds off so they can get to the grasses below, and have a lot of that spear grass. I don't know that they eat that either, but it's kind of green. You can kind of see where it's green through here where the water runs through. It's a process. I'm gonna try and do it as organically as possible. I've bought some blood meal to spread out on areas that I'm going to plant, but it's just going to take some time. This didn't happen overnight. It's kind of a mystery in some ways. You go in some parts and you've got a fairly good amount of cover, but then you come out here and there's just nothing. You know, it springs up, but again, where I took my samples, the nitrogen was extremely low. I had good other minerals, but there's just no nitrogen in the soil. And of course, there's no activity, organic activity, or microbes or anything like that. The ground is essentially dead. So we just let the cattle graze on it. And yes, we have to feed a little bit of hay, but we grow the cows for our own use, and might sell a couple of heads of cattle, but most of the time it goes into our freezers. So at least we know what's in it. And we do feed some cow cake every day, just 1 bag for all these cattle. I split it up between them in the different bowls, and so they are getting plenty, and there's hay, always hay available. So we just need some more rain and some more nutrients, and it'll take a little time, but it's getting there. Anyway, I hope you kind of caught up with us. Just kind of did a brief tour here. Hope it wasn't too long. So you have a good day, what's left of it, because I'm fixing to have to go give the bottle baby her bottle and shut up the chickens here in just a few minutes. But you have a good day and a better tomorrow, and we'll see you next time on Quail Hollow Farms. Like and subscribe. This is the one we've been waiting on. She's been as big as a house for seems like weeks, hardly being able to get up. And she had 3 of them all on her own.